Hello everyone, this is Amrinder Singh. In this video, we'll see how we can convert an MBR partition table disk into GPT partition table disk. So MBR stands for Master Boot Record and GPT stands for GUID Partition Table. So for every hard disk where we want to install an operating system, it is mandatory to have one of these partition table. So MBR is the older one and GPT is the newer one now. MBR has some limitation, like first limitation is that MBR supports hard disk till 2 terabytes of size, and the other limitation is it can have only 4 primary partitions. At the other hand, GPT supports 128 partitions in a disk, and it also supports the hard disk more than of 2 terabytes. So nowadays, as we usually have the hard disk of 4 terabytes or 8 terabytes, so that does not suitable for MBR. So here in this video we'll see how we can convert a disk which is currently into MBR and then how we can convert it into GPT, and moreover if we want to see how we can convert a GPT drive into a MBR. So for that, what we need to do is we have to insert Windows 7 or Windows 8 hard CD into the system. Press Shift and F10. It will open command prompt. So let's start. Type a command called disk part. Fine. So this is called disk partition. Type a command called list disk. This command will show you the total number of disks attached to your system. So here we can see there is a disk which is disk 0. Status is online, total size is 100 GB, and then we have the total free size, and finally we have dynamic and GPT option. So both are blank, that means the disk is not dynamic or neither GPT. Then second thing is we have to check, do we have any partitions already created on the hard disk? So we'll say create partition, list partition. So it says there is no disk selected. So first of all, we have to select disk number 0 and we'll say list partition. List partition. List partition. Now say there are no partitions on this disk too. So first thing which we have to consider while doing this is that take all the backup of your data which is currently there in your hard disk, because if we convert the disk from MBR to GPT or even from GPT to MBR, all the data would get lost. So to store your data, take a backup first, and then if we have any partition installed on your system, delete those partition. After deleting the partition, like how we can delete a partition is that we have a command called select partition and specify the partition number. Fine. Although we do not have partition in this hard drive, so select partition, mention the partition number, press enter. After that, type command delete partition. Fine. So it will delete your partition. So one by one delete all the partitions. Then after, you have to specify a command called clean. Fine. After that, you will write convert GPT. So it will give you a message that disk part successfully converted the selected disk to GPT format. Alright, list disk. Now you can see there is a star coming under GPT option. So that means here now your drive is converted into GPT. One more thing I'll mention here, that like if you buy a laptop or a system which is branded and it is having already an operating system, so nowadays we are getting Windows 10 inbuilt. So by default, all the hard drives are formatted under GPT partition. So at times students gets a problem, like if they are not using or if they do not want to use Windows 10 and they want to install Windows 7, so there is a problem coming that you cannot install Windows 7 on GPT partition. So it will give you an error that Windows 7 cannot be installed on GPT partition table. So there students get confused that what do we do now? Fine. So students, what you need to do is, if you want to install Windows 7 on a system where initially Windows 10 was installed, you have to convert the disk from GPT to MBR. So now I'll show you how do we do that. So we'll write convert MBR, enter, list disk. Now you can see there is no star now, so that means the disk is converted into MBR now, and this was the command where we converted the disk from MBR to GPT. So this is how we can convert from MBR to GPT or from GPT to MBR. So this is all. Thank you so much for viewing the video. Thanks all.